Y'all fire with questions whenever you're ready. All right.
No questions. Okay. Dang.
Was there a leaping memo before the game? Everybody seemed to be leaping.
What's that?
DJ leap, Antonio leaps. It was hip leap.
Yeah, there's all kinds of leaping going on. I know the coaches weren't leaping a whole lot, but players were leaping. We might get hurt. We're getting too old. But no, yeah, that's pretty funny right there.
Brandon, a couple days after, I mean, were there things you saw out of this offense that still maybe need to be cleaned up a little bit before, as we continue on this season?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, coaches, there's always something to clean up. And, offensively, there's definitely plenty to clean up. Starting with just, having too many situations, especially in the second half, maybe that third quarter. We started fast, but then we had 4 or 5 possessions where we didn't get any points, whether it be a turnover situation or we just didn't execute in certain situations that stopped drives. And so just being able to manufacture more points, that's the biggest thing. And that goes for, each position group, just being accountable for the details of their position. And then, it starts with the coaches of just making sure we're holding them accountable. But I would say that would be the biggest thing. We're definitely doing a lot of good things, and most importantly, I was proud of how our guys responded on Saturday, coming off that loss to Notre Dame. It's hard to win, as we all know, and so this was a good team, Louisville, that came in here, and we did a good job of taking care of business.
How important was that start, just to get things rolling and kind of that confidence that you're always preaching?
Yeah, very important. We've been very successful at the beginning of games. The first drive of games, we've gotten points. All but 1 or 2 games, I think, this year. And so it was really good to get off to a good start, get some momentum going. And that's a big part of playing football is the momentum piece. When we get momentum, we can feed off of each other, and it creates that energy that you really want. And so, starting off fast at the beginning of the game and then also in the third quarter was really, really important for us this past week.
How did Mitchell Mays do?
He did good. We were really excited about what he did. I mean, he had a few things here or there that he's got to get corrected, but as a guy that first time starting in that situation against a team that moves a lot, a lot of twisting and movement up front, a lot of identification, a lot of communication. He did a very good job. So really impressed with him, and he's had, he's been the one that has had the most snaps outside of our top 5 guys this year. So he did have some experience before that, but having a start under his belt now, I think, has given him a lot of confidence.
How do you kind of coach with the turnovers? You don't want guys to stop playing hard.
Sure.
But some of them are because guys are trying to continue to play, get that extra yard, and it gets knocked out. So how do you coach that?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to take aggressiveness away.
It's a tricky thing, like a lot of things, mental too. If you over talk about it, then I think sometimes it just continues to happen. And so I think you got to coach up the details of the fundamentals of, holding, because you appreciate guys that are working hard to try to get extra yards or trying to escape the pocket or whatever it is. But every single situation, just talking about Saturday that happened, is correctable based on fundamentals. I think DJ took his front hand off the ball, and the guy knocked it out, in the pocket. So those are things that, we work every day, but we got to enforce it on game day, and he's got to take that over to game day. And then, Shipley's working his tail off, and, anytime that the wrist gets below the elbow, that means it's loose. Or if it's not high and tight, then you don't have as much strength at all around the ball. And obviously on defense, that's the main objective of defense is trying to get the ball back. And so we just got to continue to emphasize and then practice those fundamentals that can help prevent it.
After the game, DJ talked a lot about playing more free with more confidence.
Yep.
And that was something he was really working on last week in practice. Is that something that you try to coach into him this week and kind of
Yep.
continue that kind of rhythm?
Absolutely. We talk about that a lot around here, whether you're playing quarterback or any other position. To find that peace of mind to go play free. And I think, I think he's done a really good job of that, for most of the year. And like a lot of things, it's easier said than done. Hey, just go play free, DJ. Don't worry about anything else. Just go play free. And but when he can do that, and he has that mindset, he's in a a much better spot. He's able to go play free and play more confident. And anytime you can play free and then you start fast, you gain confidence quickly. And so I think that's what you saw in him on Saturday. Not perfect, but he played a good game. And he started fast. And I think it's our job as coaches too to help him to get to that point. To help him at the beginning of the game to get into the flow of things very fast. So, but he did a great job, and just proud of how he bounced back and responded.
Jacko said he told did y'all told DJ it was do or die? What did die mean? Did it mean we're going with Cade fully, or?
I don't know. What did Coach say?
He said, well,
I'm saying, what does that mean to Coach? I mean, I don't know. I just think, I think DJ knows he's got to play well. I think he knows, man, every day, every week there's competition. And, when you're playing the quarterback position, man, the team is going to go as you play. It's very simple. And I've talked about that with the quarterbacks all the time is, man, we're going to play as well as you do. So as soon as you accept that pressure and accept that responsibility, that's just life. That's what you signed up for. And so, which is not an easy spot, but hey, when it goes good, you're getting all the praise. When it doesn't, then you get the blame. And that's just, like I said, part of the territory. And so he knows he has to play well in order to maintain, his position. I mean, that's at every position though, so he understands that very, very well.
What was the thought process behind Cade coming out and then DJ finishing?
Yeah, I think in that situation, number one, we wanted to get Cade some more experience. And number two, he brings an explosiveness with his feet that you saw on a couple of the plays there. At least one of the plays, he had a 13-yard carry. And so that allowed us to even run some more clock off, and try to hold the ball a little bit longer too, because weren't super confident in putting the ball in the air in that situation, up a couple scores, and just didn't want to give them any confidence for their offense to get back out on the field. So that was two things: really getting him in the game, just hey, in a pressure situation too, get him some good experience, and then you're always like to have a guy that can really, really get on that edge and he's a fast kid that can make some hay with his feet. So those are the main reasons.
Would you love the opportunity to get him in a game where he can actually just run the offense without being protecting the football time or a garbage time, but just to actually be able to go out there and throw the football around?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like that for all of our guys. I mean, I really would. I mean, I think it's a tricky deal, sometimes, yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think it depends on a lot of things. It depends on who you're playing. It depends on, what type of structure you're playing. And then it also, you got to give a chance for the starter to, get into a groove and get into a rhythm and maintain his confidence. And really that's what happened Saturday is DJ, had confidence in the beginning of the game and got into a rhythm and just didn't really want to stop that rhythm, So I think every scenario is different. Every week is a little bit different. And both those kids know, though, both of the guys know that, man, they got to be ready to go no matter what. And y'all have seen it. I mean, they've been in and out a couple of different times. And, whether that's fair or not, I mean, that's football, and these guys got to be ready to play in every situation.
Brandon, what have you seen out of Miami's defense?
Yeah, they got a solid group. I think there's, Coach Steele has done this a long time. He does a great job, and he does a great job of keeping it simple so that they can play fast. There are different. They play a base 4-down front majority of the time. They mix in a little bit of 3-down. And like I said, right now he's keeping it simple for their defense so they can play fast and eliminate any kind of mistakes. I really like their safety. I think number 24 is a really good player. He's got a bunch of picks. I think he's got 6 or 7, but he finds a way to make plays on the ball. And they got some big defensive linemen that can move well. They've always been an athletic team, So those are the things that we're going to be challenged on, and those are the things that going in today, just really, really emphasizing to our guys those particular schemes, and then a couple of their players that are kind of highlighted on their defense.
Any worries that because Miami hasn't had the season that I guess it started the year in the top 10, that your players, I don't know, might not take them as seriously as they probably should?
Yeah, I really don't think so. I really don't. I think our guys have bought into, our whole philosophy of, we're playing Clemson every week. We're playing to a standard. And no, this is the most important game of the season because it's the next game, and that's what we preach to our guys, and they really understand that mindset. And any team can come in here and beat us if we don't have the right mindset. And that's college football, as we see all year long, different teams, winning and beating teams that they shouldn't. And that's just part of football. So I know our mindset will be in the right spot.
I think Phil Maffa had a run on Saturday where I think it was 13 yards and about 11 of the yards were pushing.
Yeah.
Is that one of the longer piled pushes?
That's a scrum if I've ever seen one. That right there was, that had to have been one of the longer plays in college football.